未来洗联储还 HDO 洗币会别人抢着来成为国家流通的货币。接下来被国家认可、主权认可、主权流通，甚至大的这招之地控制的金融集团流通，但是一定会发生。
Our topic today is Huobi, the next Luna. This is Bindi and Lily taking you through this session. Before we proceed, we would like to go through our disclaimer first. Reiterate that this show offers no financial advice. This is just our own personal opinion on crypto-related topics, purely for educational purposes only. Before you take any actions, please do your own research and be responsible for any buying or selling. Thank you. Over to you, Bindi.
Okay, then next we would like to, of course, commercials. As usual, we need to make sure that everybody knows when to tune into our program. We are on every Sunday at Beijing time 9 o'clock or Sydney time 12 o'clock. But if you are over in the US side, North America, your time will be Saturday, 8 p.m. Okay, then, so let's move on to our first topic. Today, we're going to talk about a few terms, which may be a little bit confusing for people, but actually it's quite easy. But first of all, let's talk what is cryptocurrency. We're going to talk about crypto asset first. So crypto asset is what we refer to anything that is on blockchain. And if you have tuned in our program in the past, you would have remembered that we talk about tokens, the difference between tokens and coins, and of course, NFTs. These are all crypto assets. Now, crypto assets, they are values that you can transfer, can store, and you can trade electronically, and they're typically very high risk. Next thing, we'll move on to what is crypto assets. Cryptocurrency. Over to you, Lily.
Thank you, Bindi. Crypto is basically, in short, a digital form of money that can be traded for goods, services, and other currencies. The transaction records are validated and maintained using a computer technology called cryptography, which is a decentralized ledger. It does not need a centralized bank. Over to you.
Okay. Now, blockchain and cryptocurrency, what are the differences? Now, of course, is decentralized ledger. Cryptocurrency is actually the digital currency itself. So people always just say cryptocurrency, digital currency, cryptocurrency. If it uses blockchain, we call it cryptocurrency. If it doesn't use blockchain, we say digital currency. Like, for example, digital renminbi, we will say digital renminbi because it doesn't use blockchain. Where are we now? Lily, over to you. I'm so confused.
Now we can move on to our topic of discussion today. Today we would like to look at Huobi. Will Huobi be the next Luna? Okay. Huobi started in September 2013, which is quite a few years back in the last decade. Huobi was founded by a former Oracle programmer called Li Lin and a marketing executive called Jun Du. Interestingly, Li Lin is an alumnus of Tsinghua, highly political university from Communist China. On November 5th, 2013, Huobi received angel investment from Zheng Xijing and Dai Zikang. On April 4, 2014, it received investment from Sequoia Capital. Red light there. On August 27, 2018, 4 years later, Huobi Group acquired Petronics Holding Limited, a company listed in Hong Kong, and later changed its name to Huobi Technology. Soon after, in January 2019, Huobi ESO exchange was launched for trial operation. In 2020 August, Huobi Technology obtained Type 4 SFC 9 license from the Hong Kong Security and Future Commission. So as you can see, the birth of Huobi is very is very CCP centered. Everything is from Communist China. In November 2022, Chinese brand named the Huobi from Huobi to Huobi. It's still the same.
Sounds the same.
Sounds the same.
Written
However,
differently.
The Chinese character, they have changed it. However, something is strange in 2021. Though it started from China, but the funds started retreating from mainland China over in May 2021, Huobi customer Huobi stated that to comply with the latest industry requirement in China, it decided to suspend the provision of mining machines and derivative services for people in China. In the same year, in September, it announced that to comply with the latest cryptocurrency ban by Chinese government, it suspend registration of new users in mainland China and retire all the stocks of user from mainland in December 2021. The founder, Jundu, said the past strategy was to how to legalize, operate in China, it must face the world. So they are taking Huobi from China to the world. In an earlier visit, China, it has 20% of global transaction from China.
Yeah.
Okay, over to you.
So yeah, actually, if you like if I would just quickly recap what Lily said, Huobi from the very beginning, from the inception, it has a lot of red flags. You can see a lot of red in the founding of Huobi, starting with people like investors like Dai Zikang, who was a white glove of CCP oligarch Zheng Qinghong. But he, of course, since then fallen from grace and was sentenced to 19 years imprisonment. So Quiet Capital, we have done programs of Nielsen, who is a white glove for various CCP factions. Then, of course, Hong Kong, from Mount Score, we know that Hong Kong is actually what CCP intended to be a cryptocurrency center. That's what they want to set up Hong Kong as. Now, moving on to the controversies of Huobi. Now, Huobi has, of course, had some issues arising in the website, ranging from 2014. They have lost, transferred in human error cost 920 Bitcoins, 8,100 Litecoins to be transferred to other accounts by mistake. Then in 2020, there was customers or users couldn't close their positions due to malicious unplugging of the network. Then, of course, that was a big issue, resulting in Huobi users protesting in Hainan. Then, of course, in 2020, Li Lin, if you recall, Li Lin was the founder of Huobi and a senior official of Huobi as well. And he was arrested in an incident. And of course, then after that, there were senior officials, CCO, COO, CTO, who were all various people being arrested. This actually caused Huobi, the token HT, to plunge 20% on the same day, and that was in November 2020. And then in 26th of November 2020, there were the CTO, of course, was arrested. Then Li Lin actually went MIA for and finally taken arrested by the police. So, you know, you see that it's highly political. And in 2021, Huobi EcoChain HECO or HECO project, there were frequent problems there, including MDEX, data falsification, and HECO project audit problems, project team information falsification, HBO, HSO, and other project parties running away. So there were a lot of controversies there. Now, more interestingly, I think it is actually the who actually joined Huobi later, whose name is Sun Yu Cheng or Justin Sun. I'll hand that over to Lily.
Yes, Justin Sun came on board very recently. In fact, October 8, 2022. Through him, the fund was transferred to the share of Huobi was transferred to About Capital Management. And the M&A of the takeover seems highly controversial as well, because several people say that Sun Yu Chen was the core contributor of this M&A. He himself appeared at the delivery site in Singapore on October the 8th. Not only that, Sun Yu Chen is recruiting vigorously, and the price acquired for B may be over 1 billion. This is highly overpriced. Moving on, since he's coming on board, there's this rigorous hiring of staff. However, very recently, in fact, on January 6, 2023, Huobi released a statement announcing layoff of 20%, even though it's announced, but it's not yet implemented yet. The reason why we suspect is because of the FTX collapse. It must have something to do with that, because remember, Square Capital is part of the fund as well from the beginning, 2014. So that does smell something. First of all, they have a very 1 billion takeover, which is highly priced, and then now they are laying off. Is it more than just manipulation? Is there money laundering going on? It is a plan to rob investors of his capital. Okay. At the time the big layoff is announced, it says that because of the bear market condition in the cryptocurrency, and they need to maintain a very lean team going forward. However, how true is that? It's still lay a question mark. But with the XTX collapse, it implicated stress in the operation of Huobi as well. So will it be the next Luna? Really, the time will tell. In an internal message to employee, Sun said the trading platform has attracted an average of 20,000 users in the past 3 months. That is suspicional. The restructuring only need a short-term pain, so it's just sort of try to cover up pain, try to smooth over whatever is being manipulated. Over to you.
Okay, as we have seen in the past few episodes, FTX actually has a lot of knock-on consequences. When FTX collapsed, because it's such a huge, there's so many people in the crypto world, so many people lend money to each other. And when FTX cannot pay, it actually dragged down all the creditors. And Huobi is also not an exception, because Huobi actually holds a lot of FTX tokens. Now, the negative news of Huobi firing 20% of its staff after vigorous expansion, that actually led to a vigorous withdrawal by the users. So on January 5th, 23rd, Justin Sun blocked all communication and feedback channels with employees. That's not good news, because he was saying that, okay, employees may do something to the platform and compromising the safety and security of the users. And of course, this is of course not a good news. And when the news broke out, the net flow of funds on the Huobi exchange over 7 days was $34.9 million. So indicating that actually users are actively withdrawing funds from Huobi. Then, of course, there are also other figures being thrown around, $70 million in withdrawal, and 30% crash in FTX withdrawals. With 70 million is actually 3.5% of Huobi's size. So 3.5 million compared to 30% crash in FTX withdrawals, 30% withdrawal, which caused FTX to crash, is actually not that far. And that's why the suspicion of analysts is that, Huobi is going the same way as FTX. But also, analysts have also looked at the percentage held by the proportion of assets held in the because they look at, hey, look, there is also a lack of 2% bid depth, which is a major red flag as far which caused FTT tokens to collapse. Now, this 2% bid depth is also very narrow, relatively narrow for Huobi. That's first thing. The second thing is there has been a sharp increase in outflow, which of a stable coin from FTX that led to FTX collapse is also happening in Huobi. And of course, the third thing, active users addresses drops 44 times lower than the peak in 2019 and 20 times lower than Binance. That is happening in Huobi right now. So many a huge drop in active users address. And then the third thing is, which I think is very telling, is Huobi actually holds 81% of the circulating supply, or 131.6 million out of 162.2 million of HT tokens. The company, the platform, is holding 81% of its own token. So when the token goes down, so will the exchange, because the risk is not passed on to anybody else. The risk is remaining with the exchange. So, and then of course the other thing is Huobi has a combination of HT and TRX accounts for 44%, and that's a huge percentage. When TRX goes down, when HT prices goes down, so will the platform. So at the present, the stable coins and the mainstream present, what is supposed to be healthy is that stable coins comprising 50% of the platform remaining made out of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the own platforms. Coins should be no more than 10%. But Huobi actually has 81% of its own platform tokens. So that is terrible. And together with TRX, accounts for 44% of platform coins. So that is way out of whack compared to what it should be. And typically, platform coins are illiquid. When you have so much of illiquid, that's when illiquid asset. That's when you know that the company is not going to do well. Now, next, we'll go on to multi-score video. Director, if we can have a multi-score video, please.
共产党扶持的币安，还有共产党扶持的火币，以及现在1万多个加密数字货币里面，超过一半有共产党的投资。数字货币几乎是共产党认为干灭西方的金融核武器。7个几年前就是比特币，还有币安、火币，都是共产党控制的。而且我说过，他要搞数字化人民币。美国人现在是对数字货币恐惧，国内的某个超级牛人，他说现在共产党就怕美国人不查数字货币，就怕美国人不去搞数字货币。在你全面制造恐惧的时候，共产党就要收割，把香港变成数字化人民中心，也就叫数字化情报中心，也就是抓住了人类一半的未来，就这么简单。
This of Moscow has been saying all along that Bitcoin, Huobi, they are a financial nuclear bomb that the CCP has prepared to destroy the West economy. It is designed to suck all the capitals, the pension fund especially, siphon into their bags. And it is highly controlled and highly manipulated. So it is, the outset is just, the writing is very clear on the wall that Huobi, I am very sure, will be the next Luna. And it is a castle building on the sand from the beginning anyway. So yeah, over to you.
Okay, what I got to say about what Maltzko has said is Maltzko has alleged from the very beginning that that Huobi is another one of CCP's weapon really against the West, because the cryptocurrency industry is very much Chinese centric. All the engineers, a lot of the engineers, all come from are all Chinese. And if you were to recall what we said about the origin of how Huobi came along, who are the founders, who are the investors, these are all people who have links to the CCP. And do not be surprised if Justin Sun, we do not have that much information as of now. Do not be surprised, you know, his meteor rise again whenever you see a very young person doing great things. And at least Jack Ma is in his 50s. You know, this Justin Sun actually in 2005 he was already the top 30 of under 30 in China. As soon as you see a character like that, you know that he doesn't come from nowhere, and from him graduating in Beijing University, then go on to have his education in the US and all this. These are typical hallmark of a CCP white glove. And why is it that the Mao Squaw said that all the CCP wants is for the West to actually investigate, to look into digital currency, because that will actually facilitate them setting up the digital currency center in Hong Kong. I just want to ask Lily whether you have any thoughts about this particular statement. Why is it that Mao Squaw said that CCP is only vying for the West to investigate, to look into cryptocurrency, to suppress, in a way, cryptocurrency, because then that will actually facilitate them setting up the digital currency center in Hong Kong. Do you have any thoughts about this?
Intelligence, isn't it? That's my guess. And it wants to destroy the fiat system. They are after the euro to setting up to setting up the digital currency. They can destroy the fiat system of the euro and the USD.
Yeah, I think what you're right. What Mao Squaw has always consistently said is that the CCP wants to dethrone the USD as the reserve currency by introducing digital renminbi. And throughout all this, as we have seen in the past few years, with the onset of the pandemic and how various governments in the West have suppressed the people, anybody who speak against by even freezing their bank accounts, that is itself is actually pushing people into something that is decentralized, and decentralized means cryptocurrency. So even though right now at the start, I remember last year when we started, last year it was only $2 trillion in cryptocurrency. Right now, Mao Squaw said $3 trillion. We still have a long way more to go in cryptocurrency as far as cryptocurrency growth is concerned. So when people want to get away from fiat, they go into cryptocurrency, and that is when they will start flowing into what the CCP has planned, and the PCC has planned. You know, that's why CCP said, if I am just, I'll be concerned if the West, or the CCP will be concerned if the West does not suppress cryptocurrency, because want is to set up Hong Kong as a digital currency center. And that's why that's why they play all these tricks about Binance, about Huobi, and how Binance has caused the collapse of FTX, because in the process, it's also them harvesting, right? Harvesting for ordinary people, a little bit of money here and there. It means a lot to the coffer of the CCP. And Huobi is typically is very important because Mount Score has also said that Huobi actually sells or harvests the same with Binance. They harvest private information of all the all the account holders. So buying Huobi overseas means that you have a digital handcuff or digital shackle, and Huobi will fit your information, private information, to CCP, and CCP will be able to trace who is who. And that is also the reason why CCP said those of us who have an account with Binance or Huobi, is a very, very foolish thing to do, because the CCP will be able to get hold of you financially, digital handcuffs. And we have also heard that people in mainland China who have, through Huobi or Binance, wanting to transfer their assets out, of course, they get caught. So back to you, Lily, if you have any last words before we close. 3 minutes more.
Well, the very last word is, of course, we want to compare Huobi with HCN. Is like comparing something. HCN has something very different to what Huobi has. HCN has never been involved in any money laundering. Every HCN account holder, they are KYC, and also more than that, HCN is unique in one as a stable coin because of HDO. HDO has is pegged 1-to-1 to US dollar fiat, but at the same time, it has 20% gold reserve in it as well. So it's very stable in that sense as a stable coin. It's the most stable coin. It has asset backing, in short. Unlike other stable coin, USDT, USDC, Huobi, they have no asset backing. Their asset backings are in cryptos that we have seen lately that
or corporate guarantees.
Corporate
guarantees. Yeah, so that indeed, as you very well said. In fact, that's the difference between HDO and HCN. HDO is just multiple emphasized so many times is that HDO, there is no way they can misappropriate the funds that have been used to purchase the digital currency, the crypto digital currency. It is 1-to-1, which means every dollar that you have, HDO you have, there is an equivalent USD in the bank. There's no
addition of 20% gold reserve backing.
That will be HCN. That's right. So if anything were to crash, you still have your 20% gold backing. So that's the major difference. And I think the other thing that I want to just mention is that the uniqueness with China, and then vigorously pushed to Europe, Asia, and Middle East. Why? Because it is actually a vehicle for money laundering. And if we have been keeping an eye on Binance, we know that Binance actually been investigated for money laundering. And in fact, they are one of the biggest actually amount of money being transacted with the dark web, largest dark web. And that's what Mount Square has been emphasizing time and again. Back to you, Lily.
That very well covered for our topic today. Welcome you to join us next week, this time for our next show. Please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much, and thanks for viewing.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
See you. Bye-bye.
you.